Well, I'm currently in the holding area for journalists at the Capella Hotel on Sentosa Island in Singapore. Now, earlier today at 9 a.m. local time, we saw the two leaders emerging from both sides of a wing in the hotel, and they walked to each other before arriving in the center of the stage where, framed by a backdrop of US as well as North Korean flags, they smiled at each other and they exchanged warm handshakes. After that, they both, moved on to a library where they had one-on-one chats with just interpreters. Now, earlier, before this summit, before today, U.S. President Donald Trump had said that he only requires 1 minute to sense whether Mr. Kim is sincere or not. Now, after he emerged from the meeting, both leaders emerged from the meeting in about 40 minutes. Reporters gathered here shouted questions at both leaders, and Mr. Trump described the meeting as being an excellent start. He didn't address about questions about whether he didn't talk about whether he felt that Mr. Kim was sincere or not, but it's clear that the talks got off to a good start. And after that, both leaders adjourned to started an expanded bilateral meeting with more officials and it. Now we don't know what's being discussed at the moment, but we know that some issues are on the agenda. Part of it involves ending the Korean War. It's also about normalizing relations between the US and North Korea, and it's also about setting a framework for denuclearization. Now, we know that the US and North Korea have differing interpretations of what denuclearization means. On the US side, they're talking about the complete, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization of North Korea, while on the North Korean side, they're talking about denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Now, that would involve the possible removal of U.S. troops from South Korea, and also the nuclear umbrella that covers South Korea and Japan that's provided by the U.S. There's a press conference slated for later this afternoon. We'll probably have more answers then.
Jeremy, is there any indication, we know that press conferences or media conference is expected to be from the US President Donald Trump. Is there any indication of anything coming out from the North Korean leader?
As of now, everything's up in the air. We still don't know what's coming up after the meeting between both sides. If North Korean leader Kim Jong-un does meet the press here, it will be unprecedented. But again, we're talking about an unprecedented summit between the North Korean leader as well as the U.S. president. I mean, just last year we were hearing the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un talking about threatening fire and fury on the U.S. mainland, and what change, what 180-degree change this year has been. The summit happening right here in Singapore, both leaders meeting as on equal terms right here in Singapore against a backdrop of both of their flags. It's about legitimizing Mr. Kim as a leader and placing him on par with the US president as well. So truly an unprecedented summit, a historical moment indeed.